Hi, welcome to SBR Sports Picks. I'm Peter Loshak. Today is Thursday, June 15th, and we're going to talk right now with our regular guest, MMA and boxing expert analyst, about the upcoming Sergey Kovalev Andre Ward fight. A great fight that's taking place in Las Vegas. Obviously, it's the rematch. A lot of people discussing this fight, and a lot of people just in general looking forward to this fight because, the first fight was a great one that lived up to its hype as far as pitting two top boxers in their prime, and I think the rematch is, from a fan perspective, likely to be more of the same, right?
Oh, yeah, definitely. Two of the top 5 pound-for-pound fighters in the world. It's very rare that two of these guys compete in the same division, much less being in the top 5 pound-for-pound currently right now. And to see them do it again is definitely going to be a treat. People shouldn't miss this fight.
Yeah, all right. So good news to everyone who's looking forward to this fight from the fan perspective, from the spectator perspective, from the betting perspective, a little bit trickier, right, Andreas? Obviously Andre Ward won the first fight. It was very close. All 3 judges gave it to him by 1 point, and there was a lot of controversy over that, as there will be with any fight that is as legitimately close as that fight was. Even if you make the case that Kovalev should have won that fight on the cards, everyone agrees that it was a very, very close fight. And obviously, Andre Ward did get knocked down early on in that fight, so Kovalev does at least has demonstrated the ability to put Ward on the canvas, if not to knock him out. Obviously, Ward, a supremely elite technical fighter who is just is tough to trap in any which way in the ring. Right now, I'm seeing Ward at -150, Kovalev on the other side at +130. And once again, the markets are expecting this fight to go the distance. The over 9.5 rounds is -560, and the fight going the distance right now is -360. Now, I have some ways that I'm thinking about maybe betting this fight, but let's just start with the money lines here. Obviously, it makes sense that Ward should be the favorite here. I guess you'd have to make him the favorite at -150, and Kovalev on the other side at +130. Is that maybe giving a teeny bit, just a teeny bit, too much credit to Ward? What do you think, Andreas Hale?
I'm not sure, actually. If you watch the fight again, what you see is Andre Ward making slight adjustments and taking over the fight and coming from behind after being down in the second round. So he's a masterful boxer. He hasn't lost since he was a teenager. So I think the line is correct. It's really tough, though, because you never know what's going to happen in this kind of fight. Kovalev has fight-changing power, but the right guy is the favorite in this rematch.
All right, so maybe the market has this one dead on, and that there's no betting value on the money line. I've heard some credible opinions that says that this one is basically a coin flip, or should be very close to a coin flip. And if that's the case, then maybe there would be a little bit of value with Kovalev at +130. Just talking about the money line, if you had to make a bet here, Andreas Hale, would you take Kovalev at +130 or Ward at -150?
If you put a gun to my head and force me to pick, I'd pick Andre Ward. I think he's a guy who figures things out. He makes those adjustments, similar to Floyd Mayweather, just not as flashy. So once he figures you out, I think he's got you locked in. So if you force me to pick, I'd pick Andre Ward.
And now let's talk about how the fight is likely to play out. Obviously, the first fight went the distance, went to the cards. It was a little bit controversial. Maybe both fighters here are looking to end this thing early. Kovalev, obviously, probably in his mind is thinking if he is going to be able to beat Ward, it's going to be by finishing him, by knocking him out. And maybe there's some part of Ward that wants to get a more decisive win here, and also do it by knockout. And maybe if Kovalev does go for the early knockout and isn't successful, then he tires out late, which we did see in the first fight. And then maybe Ward gets a chance to knock him out late. What do you think about the chances of this fight actually going the distance? Do you think that maybe a shot with the under 9.5 at +430, or a shot with a fight not going the distance at +300 might actually be worth a bet? Which is how I was thinking, maybe.
It's worth taking the shot, and the reason why is because Kovalev and Ward just genuinely do not like each other. There's a lot of tension heading into this fight. Kovalev is a finisher, so I expect him to come out guns blazing and try to put him down. Ward is a guy who doesn't necessarily go for the knockout. He's very economical in his punches, and I don't necessarily see him taking out Kovalev, but I do see it going the other way around if that's the way he wanted to go. Kovalev did put him down in the second round, and granted, if you look at the fight again, he didn't hit him with his best punch. So I'm just curious what happens if Kovalev lands clean. This is a guy who's knocked out 26 of 30 opponents, and, he gave Bernard Hopkins hell. So if you wanted to go that route, I would definitely take this not going the distance. It's worth a shot at, what is that, +300? It's definitely worth a shot.
Right, not going the distance. The fight going the distance currently at 5 dimes, I'm seeing -360, and fight not going the distance at +300. And then, Andreas, I suggest these kinds of hedges, prop hedges. I've suggested them in the past. You could do a hedge with Kovalev winning inside the distance at +460, and then Ward winning by decision at minus 101, and that would be, a decent, favorite line there, but not a huge one. I think it would be significantly less than minus 200. That way you cash if Ward wins by decision or if Kovalev wins inside the distance. The only way you lose is if Ward knocks him out or if the fight goes to the cards and Kovalev gets the decision. What do you think about that kind of a hedge?
I actually like that kind of a hedge. Like I said, I don't see Ward stopping him. Kovalev, I don't see him winning a decision, even though it's a little bit more likely than Ward stopping him. The reason why, if Kovalev can't put him down, Ward gets up, he could win on points. But chances are, if Kovalev's going to finish this guy and he has a point to prove, and he said to me just this week that he doesn't want to let this fight get back in the hands of the judges because he felt like he was robbed. So he's going to take all the chances in the world to finish this. Ward, on the other hand, he wants to punish Kovalev. What does punish mean? It doesn't necessarily mean knock him out. It means to expose him for 12 rounds. So I can see this going both ways. That's an excellent
All right,
hedge.
and if Kovalev does give it all in the early going, trying to get the knockout, and isn't successful doing that, how likely is it that you think that Ward then is able to go for the knockout, or do you think at that point Ward will just sort of cruise and outpoint him and be happy with the decision?
Yeah, like I just said, he's very similar to Floyd Mayweather. He doesn't take a ton of chances unless, he sees an opportunity like he did against Chad Dawson. But otherwise, Kovalev is a tough guy, a good counterpuncher, and somebody who can hurt you. So I don't even see if Ward has the opportunity. I think he just kind of boxes to a decision. And like I said, he punishes him. He makes him look bad.
All right. Well, this is a very, very tough fight to handicap. Again, sometimes the fights that aren't that exciting to watch are the best ones from a betting perspective, and other times it's the opposite, which is what we have here. It's going to be a great fight to see how it turns out, to see what strategies each of these fighters are wind up employing and how successful they are. From a betting perspective, though, might be a little bit tough. Feels like the market has a very, very good read on where these lines should be. Andreas Hale, if you had to make one bet on this fight, one way or the other, a prop, a pick on the side, a pick on the total, what would it be?
Oh man, like you said, it's very tough. Very tough. If you force me to pick, I'd have to pick Ward by decision.
Ward by decision. Okay, at minus 101. That's not too bad there, Andreas Hale. And if you forced me to make a bet here, I think I'm probably going to stay off this fight. I would probably do a hedge there. Ward by decision at minus 101 with Kovalev inside the distance at plus 40 in case because Kovalev's saying that he overtrained for the first fight and that he's going to be in much better shape here. It does feel like he's more focused and definitely looking to be to get a knockout here and to prove himself again. Do you think he's just at a skills disadvantage?
Yeah, I mean, Andre Ward's a masterful boxer. This is a 2000 Olympic gold medalist. So, I mean, everybody's going to be at a skills disadvantage. This is where raw power comes into play. But Kovalev's boxing is underrated. So, and that's where it's going to be. If he can't box with Andre Ward, it's just not possible.
Right. Okay, Andreas Hale, thanks so much for your insights on this fight.
Hey guys, thanks for tuning in to our channel. Now we've put a lot of work into producing all these free videos, so please help us out and keep all our content free for you forever by simply liking, sharing, commenting, and subscribing. Now, not to mention, a visit to our industry-leading website will warm the hearts of all our SBR employees, especially myself. Now, the links are over there to the left, so do check those out. Thanks for watching.